A picture is worth 1,000 words. This starts our first module of the first topic of the first lesson, understanding quantities and their relationships. Let's warm up. Emma bought a new video game. The graph shown describes the number of hours Emma spent playing the game over a period of 7 days. Number 1, label the axis. You have an x-axis and a y-axis. Number 2, what does the highest point on the graph represent with respect to the scenario? What about the lowest point? So here, let's think about the story. The x-axis could represent time. And in this Emma situation, she has 7 days. So we're going to label time in days. The y-axis will be labeled in hours. How many hours she's been playing. What's the highest point on the graph represent? And that point, if you label it as an ordered pair, would be 3, 4. Always label your x, then your y. That point represents that on the 3rd day, she played 4 hours of video games. In retrospect, how many games did she play on the 7th day? 0. Let's go on. Here are our learning goals. Understand quantities and their relationship with each other. Identify the independent and dependent quantities for a scenario. Match a graph with the appropriate scenario. Use a reasonable scale for a graph modeling a scenario. Identify key characteristic of graphs. Describe similarities and differences between the pairs of graphs and scenarios. Key terms we're going to learn is dependent quantity, independent quantity. When one quantity depends on another in a problem situation, it's said to be the dependent quantity. The quantity it depends upon is called the independent quantity. You have analyzed graphs of relationships and identified important features, such as intercepts and slopes. How can the key characteristics of a graph tell a story? Before we dive into this lesson, there's some key notes that I want you to understand. Let's make a table. You have x values and y values. Your x values represent your independent values. Your y values represent your dependent values. Remember that the dependents rely on the independents. Your x values also represent your domain. Just another word for your x values are your domain. Another word for your y values is range. X's are also called your input. It helps me to memorize input, independent. They're the same thing. They're all your x values. Your output, or you could say your outcome, is your dependent. They are your y's. Another thing we need to learn from this lesson is different types of graphs. A continuous graph does not have any breaks. It's a solid graph. It could be a line, it can be a curve, but it's connected. There's also a discrete graph. A discrete graph is broken. It can be steps. It could be points, like on Emma's graph. They were not connected. This is a discrete graph. Getting started. What comes first? Have you ever planned a party? You may have purchased ice, gone to the grocery store, listened to music, made food, or even cleaned in preparation. Many times these tasks depend on each other being done first. For instance, you wouldn't make food before you go to the grocery store now, would you? Consider two quantities that are changing in relationship. Here are some situations that we are going to analyze. Circle the independent quantity and underline the dependent quantity in each relationship. So we're going to circle the independent. And remember, your independents are your X values. And we're going to underline the dependent, which are your Y values. Your Y values depend on your X values. So, if I'm looking at the situation, the number of movie tickets purchased and the total cost. What stands alone? What's independent? What depends on the independent? So if I'm going to look for my independent first, I'm going to go with the number of movie tickets. The number of movie tickets depends on nothing. However, the total cost is my independent. That total cost depends on how many movie tickets I'm going to purchase. The number of eggs used and the number of cakes baked. Well, this one, the number of cakes baked is my independent. But the number of eggs that I'm going to purchase is my dependent. It just depends on how many cakes I'm going to bake. Let's continue. I'm going to circle the independent. And I'm going to underline the dependent. The number of students in attendance at a school and the number of lunches served. Number of students in attendance, that's going to be my independent. The number of lunches served is my dependent. That depends on how many students are at school today. The number of hours driven and the number of miles to a vacation destination. Well, my dependent is the number of miles to a vacation destination. The number of hours driven, well, that depends on the number of miles to the vacation destination. The number of minutes a swimming pool is filled with water and the number of gallons of water in the swimming pool. The number of gallons the water is in the swimming pool is my independent. The number of minutes it takes to fill the pool is my dependent. It depends on how many gallons the swimming pool takes. I needed to go back and look at that one. That one was a tricky one. The number of minutes a swimming pool is filled with water is actually my independent. The number of minutes a swimming pool is filled with water is my independent. And the number of gallons of water that the swimming pool actually holds is my dependent. Describe how you can determine which quantity is independent and which quantity is dependent in a problem situation. Like we've said before, the dependent quantity is one that is necessary to know first. It affects the dependent. Your dependent depends on your independent. Let's get into our first activity. While a person can describe the monthly cost to operate a business or talk about a marathon pace a runner ran to break a world record, graphs on a coordinate plane enable people to see the data. Graphs relay information about data in a visual way. You can use lines or smooth curves to represent relationships between points on a graph. In some problem situations, all the points on the line will make sense. In other problem situations, not all the points will make sense. So you will model a relationship with a line or a curve. It is up to you to consider the situation and interpret the meaning of the data and the values shown. This activity includes 8 scenarios and 8 graphs that are located in the end of this lesson, which is in your textbook. Read each scenario, determine the independent and the dependent quantities. Then match each scenario to its corresponding graph. Glue the graph to the scenario for each graph. Label the X and Y axis with the appropriate quantity and a reasonable scale, and then interpret the meaning of the origin. You can pause this video to find these graphs in your textbook, cut them out, and get some glue. Let's look at the first one, a daredevil. Grayson completes a dive from a cliff 75 feet above a river. It takes him only 1.5 seconds to hit the water, and then another 0.5 second to descend 10 feet into the river. Let's find our graph. Graph E represents the daredevil. Let's figure out what our independent quantity is. Our independent is going to be our time, our seconds. And that's going to be our x-axis. Remember, your x-axis is your independent. Each interval, it looks like, could be maybe 0.2 seconds. For your dependent, it's height. He was jumping off a cliff 75 feet high. And we could label this interval and go by 10 feet. And of course, you may want to indicate that your height is in feet. Of course, our time is in seconds for your x-axis. So your independent quantity is time, and your dependent is the height. Let's go to the next situation. Something's fishy. Candace is a building manager for the Crawley Enterprise office building. One of her responsibilities is cleaning the office building's 200-gallon aquarium. For cleaning, she must remove the fish from the aquarium and drain the water. The water drains at a constant rate. That word constant is very important. We're going to talk about that later. Of 10 gallons per minute. Let's find the graph. Graph H. We were talking about that word constant. Constant rate also talks about slope.